What's up, everybody? It's your girl B Octavia, and I am back with another video. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, my name is B Octavia, 24, from Washington DC, and I'm also an entrepreneur with my own business, Crush on You Beauty. In today's video, I want to give some advice to young women. What's up, y'all? So I just want to address things as they come. I have a daughter, and I'm going to speak as though I'm giving her that advice, as well as young women in general, because I want my daughter to not only, get it from me, but see, down the line when she's older, see that I care about all young women. I want us to see value in ourselves. I want us to start to see value in each other, because it's a lot of hate that's going around, a lot of jealousy. It's a lot of bullying that goes on between young women, between little girls. It starts there, and it just elevates. And I can tell you that from experience, because I have always been on the receiving end of drama, or being called out for being different, for not having what other people have. Materialistically, I mean. And at the time, it made me sad. It made me sad that that was my reality. I don't have the parents that you have. My situation isn't like yours. And that's really what I always wanted to say. Like, it's a lot that people don't know, but they just judging off of what I don't have. Now, what I didn't know back then was that it was still something that they were jealous about. And perhaps it was my character. Perhaps it was how I held my composure on the outside. And perhaps it was my personality, the person that I am. I feel like if you don't have what somebody else has materialistically, they may make you feel bad for that, but it's still something about you that they are envious about. And that's why they want to tear you down. With young women, I feel like judgment should be erased. And you should want to get to know somebody before you make a judgment, especially if it's a lot that you don't see. There are countless little girls, that have killed themselves in the DC area due to bullying. And I'm glad that I made it through that. It wasn't easy to be bullied, to be called dirty, to know that your reality is not the same as everybody else's. And it bothers me that before judging, y'all don't have deep conversations with each other. I told y'all, like, I always kept it brief with everybody, really, so it's a lot that people that I used to go over their house and all that just didn't know about me, and in turn, I felt like I had to be by myself, because you have friends around, quote unquote friends, and this is rule number one. If you are being talked about, or you're the bid, right? And the bid is basically the person who is on the pedestal and is being laughed at by everybody. Well, if you notice that the people that you hang with is laughing, them not your friends. As a young girl, I had to start to realize that I didn't need nobody around to validate me, because we not the same. If I'm gonna keep being called out for having airwalk shoes. Or back then it was like you could wear regular clothes or you could wear school uniform. You know, people would go the extra mile to be like, oh, you never wear regular clothes, you don't have clothes. You know what I mean? When if your mother wants you to wear uniform every day, that's what you're gonna do. My whole point is, don't make things harder for yourself, and don't be extra hard on yourself, even though a lot of people will make you feel like you should be. You are already your worst enemy. If you just pound on the stress and you start to nitpick about what you're supposed to have, because that's how people view you, like you should have more, you gotta reroute your thinking. Because at the end of the day, it's nothing you can do. If you are too young to have a job, you know, and this shit started in elementary for me. So just imagine, you know, what can you do? School is for your academics, but school is also for you to be aware of different personalities. It's for you to really come into your own. As far as boys go, I always kept it like, okay, this my school boyfriend. I don't know why. I just wasn't like, the way that DC is, you gonna have to go into somebody's hood to see them and all that. And every time I did that, it was dangerous. Every time I did that, you know, it was one time in particular I did that, and a whole bunch of these ghetto ass girls just came out of nowhere, you know, fucking with me. We ain't fight or nothing like that, but it was dangerous, you know. And I'm like, whoa, you know, I'm out of my element. And a lot of times it may feel like a setup, you know, because if it's his neighborhood, those are that neighborhood's girls, right? So of course he not gonna say nothing, you know. That actually happened twice. And the dudes ain't say nothing to them, you know, like chill out or whoop-de-woo. They just let them have a field day, basically. So boys are really not important. In my generation, you know, they wasn't on shit but kissing and having sex. You know, we're not doing that in high school. Get your diploma. You know, don't lay down and have sex anywhere. It's not a good idea. I would have hated to be pregnant in high school, you know, because it's already hard enough being pregnant. You got to worry about the teachers judging you. You got to worry about other people judging you. You know, you got to worry about your home life and how you going to deal with this. It's not easy. I even seen a baby mother and a baby father fighting, like physically, like punching each other and doing all this in school. It's not a good idea, because I can't even imagine how irresponsible boys are, you know, when they become fathers, because dudes that are in their 20s, like 27, 28, they're still irresponsible when it comes to children, when it comes to being fathers in today's time. So it's not a good idea to even think about going that route. You know, you got to focus on your academics. You got to focus on getting out of high school. Once you get out of high school, real life is going to take place. Once you get out of high school, you're like 17, 18, and your hormones might start racing then. I would say honestly to fight any urges like that, you know, because having children when it's like 16 to, I would really say have children in your late 20s to early 30s. Honestly, I would recommend that. So early on in your life, if you're getting these urges, fight them. Because Sex doesn't satisfy your emotional desires. It doesn't satisfy you that long either, you know? It's only a couple minutes after, really, that you're still like, woo. It's nothing. Your 20s are for you to really grind and really figure out who you want to be. If you don't want to go to college, if you don't see that for yourself, that's cool. But you got to start developing a plan. You know, you have to. You have to start developing a plan for your life. You have to start taking those steps. Because if you don't, you'll be in your 30s with a young child, and it'll just be like you're starting from zero then. You having these arguments with a baby daddy. By the time I'm 30, I want to be okay. You know, I want my child to be okay. I don't want to be thinking about any of that. None of that is important. Also, don't put yourself out there in a way that you'll never be able to handle. Do you know how many people do that? It's so many people that put themselves out there in a negative way when they're young, and they still expect not to be judged when they're a little bit older. It doesn't work that way. You can't wait to turn 18 for what? You've already been doing a lot since before you turned 18. Right now, you need to slow down. Don't start things too early. Don't put yourself out there super young. You're not ready for it. Especially in an inappropriate way. Because life has a crazy way of teaching you lessons. And it can be super extreme. Because you wasn't even thinking of that as a possibility. Always think of your safety. Because a lot of people will put you in harm's way unintentionally or maybe intentionally. Always have your own mind, and you have to learn how to separate yourself in order to find yourself. You know how many people from high school I actually talked to? Maybe a couple. Maybe 2 or 3. But we not around each other like that no more. And why is that? Is there an issue? No. There's no issue. But I'm finding myself. If you continuously hold the same type of regimen that you had when you was in high school, you get up, you call your friend. Where your friend at? You meet up with your friend. You spend all day with your friend. What are you doing for you? You have to set that time aside for you. You have to start to realize that. You can't always be around people. Because then a lot of times the perception will be that they make you who you are. Is that true? No? Well, prove it. Are you strong on your own? That's what I feel coming into a woman is all about. From a young woman to a grown woman. Can you handle life? And every obstacle, even the ones that you're not even thinking about right now. And don't think shallow. It's a lot of women out here that are simply thinking shallow-minded. Small-minded. If your life just consists of lashes, weave, eyelashes, and you want to put down women that don't do that, it's something wrong with you. Maybe you need more so that you can calm down. Never think that you are so much and everybody has to look like that for you to accept them. You don't have to accept it. I'm comfortable. And if you're comfortable like that, that's fine. That's fine. But you gotta let it go. The judgment between young women does not have to occur. It doesn't have to go down. It's not necessary. If you're not given, and my thing is, like, people be wanting to be so social, but if you're not given a good vibe, what's the point? If all you care about is lashes and all this other shit, maybe you should be in a group of people that only care about that. Don't try to get deep. You know what I mean? Don't try to get deep all of a sudden. And your whole life consists of the same things. It's a time to really know yourself. Trust yourself. Trust your way of thinking. Trust your thought process. Trust your spirit. Trust your soul. Don't put that shit into anybody else's hands. Your energy is very important. I'm starting to see more and more young women just caring about the same little things. A relationship, makeup, and just basic things, you know. I want young women to know that it's okay to be your true self. It's a lot of young women out here that aren't themselves for real, you know. And only a select few people get to see that versus the whole world. What they show to the whole world. You don't have to be two different people. You can be the same person. And if nobody accepts you, as long as you accept yourself, it's fine. You'll be able to sleep at night. You'll be able to smile. Who gives a shit? It's a huge wave of young girls just doing the same things, and it's just going to turn out the same, you know. Health problems, heartbreak, wasted time, and a lack of motivation. It's your girl B Octavia. Leave some advice in the comments for some for young girls in general. And hopefully we see a turnaround, you know.